What's up YouTube, it's Ryan from AnnihilatorMTG here, and I'm back again with some more Modern. This week, we're finally going to be playing a deck that I likely should have ran ages ago, and that deck is Izzet Blitz. As a longtime fan of Delver, I've avoided playing Blitz mostly because a lot of people see it as Delver's replacement, and today we're going to find out how true that is. Modern Horizons 2 has given this archetype a few more tools that help keep it competitive in the ever-shifting meta. In the creature department, you can run Channeler, Ragavan, or sometimes even Murktide Regent. To keep things super low to the ground and to not interfere with Delirium, we'll be opting out of running Murktide Regent, and as for Ragavan, I'd prefer to eat this month, so that's not going to work either. That isn't to say that Channeler's a slouch, far from it in fact. This card is basically the red Delver of secrets, truly a force to be reckoned with. Next up for Modern Horizons 2, we're running an aggressive 3 copies of Unholy Heat. In a sense, we're going pretty deep on the Delirium plan. We'll want to get to 4 cards as soon as possible, and doing so will not only power up our Channeler, but it makes Unholy Heat kind of ridiculous. The sheer fact that this card can hit Planeswalkers is almost hard to believe, let alone for 6. I also want to touch on the card Expressive Iteration. When this card was printed, I didn't really get it at first, but the more I've seen this card played, the more I realize just how good it is. In a deck centered around prowess and efficient mana costs, it's hard to do better. Honestly, I'm both excited and a little bit nervous when it comes to playing this deck. Time and time again, I've stuck with Delver almost to a fault, so I might be a bit unaware when it comes to some of the more intricate play patterns with this deck, but with that said, let's do our best and hop into the first match. Alrighty, looks like we found our opponent here. Best of luck to you, my friend. So I don't think we're going to be keeping this one. Double Stormwing is kind of rough. Yeah, this hand looks much better. We'll keep and then ship the extra Channeler. They start things off with a snow-covered forest and immediately pass. That's usually a good sign. Then we draw an Expressive Iteration. Let's jam the Islet and we'll cast the Channeler. I could be entirely wrong here, but I want to prioritize getting the Channeler to be a 3/3 first rather than getting in for 1 extra damage with a Swiftspear. Either way, they play another basic forest and cast a Sanctum Weaver. Alright, so we're playing against Enchantress. That's a little scary. We draw Soul-Scar Mage. Was hoping for another land. Oh well. I don't think we have much of a choice, so we'll cast the Unholy Heat to deal with our Weaver. Let's bin the Lightning Bolt. The Weaver dies. Then we'll cast the Bauble. Seeing a mountain. Think we have to keep that. So I guess we'll just swing in and then send it back. They play and crack a Windswept Heath, finding themselves a basic Plains. Then they cast an Enchantress. In response, we'll crack the Bauble. Looks like they've got a Destiny Spinner on top. The Enchantress resolves. So now we get to draw an extra card off the Bauble. It's the Mountain, and we get an Islet as well. Let's play the basic, jamming the Soul-Scar Mage, and then the Swiftspear, swinging for 2. That'll take him down to 16. And so long as we don't get buried in card advantage, I think this board state has a ton of potential. They start things off with a copy of On Thin Ice. There goes the Channeler. Then we see their Destiny Spinner. Both of those cards replace themselves, which is very powerful. We draw another land, might as well play it. Let's cast the Expressive Iteration. Seeing double Mage and a Lightning Bolt, beautiful. We'll keep one of the Mages and exile the Lightning Bolt, casting it, targeting their dude. And finally, we swing in for 6. I gotta admit, I'm pretty happy about this so far. On their main phase, they jam another Windswept Heath. Then they cast a copy of Solitary Confinement. Wow, that's pretty horrific. I legit don't think we have a single way to deal with that. So this might seem a bit hasty, but I think we'll scoop it up. They've got 5 cards in hand, and it's really not difficult for them to circumvent the discard effect from their current position. If they didn't have an Enchantress, I might think differently, but I don't think we can get out of this. Okay, so in this matchup, we'll swap the Unholy Heats for the Spell Pierces. There's instances where we'd want more removal, but we already have Lightning Bolt and Lava Dart, so we should be fine. Yeah, we'll give it a shot. Alright, let's see if we can play a little bit tighter. And this hand is something else, definitely keeping this one. We'll lead off with an Islet into a Mage. Always good to have a turn 1 play. Apparently they agree with us, as they play a Temple Garden untapped, casting a Utopia Sprawl. Up next, we draw Channeler. That's at the very least manageable. Let's jam him, followed up by the Bauble, and we see a land on top. Excellent. Swinging for 2. That takes him down to 16, and we'll pass. We're hoping to dodge Solitary Confinement and probably sit this. That card is absolutely incredible. They decide to cast another Utopia Sprawl. Seems like they're stuck on a single land. Then we see an Abundant Growth, apparently drawing a land in the process. Fair enough. off. During their end step, we'll crack the Bauble, seeing a Prismatic Vista. We draw an Islet, make that 2, let's play one of them, casting the Manamorphose, binning a land, then drawing a Lightning Bolt, and now we get to cast the Stormwing. Let's go bottom top, attacking for 3, that'll bring them down to 13. They play and crack their Vista, finding themselves a basic forest, followed up by an Enchantress, and then we see a Sanctum Weaver. While that is good value, I don't think that's enough to stop us. We draw our second bolt, let's play an Islet, then we'll bolt their dude, binning a Lava Dart, casting the second bolt at their face, let's swing in, and we got there, nice. In terms of sideboarding, I think we're happy with the changes that we already made, so we'll just resubmit. This hand looks pretty darn good, we'll keep it. Oh, and I guess we didn't really account for ley lines. I suppose if they're gonna have it, them hitting multiple copies is ideal. Either way, they lead off with a Prismatic Vista, cracking it for a forest, and casting a Utopia Sprawl. That is a strong start for sure, but they are low on cards in hand. If anything's gonna save us, it's gonna be that. We draw another Mutagenic Growth, I'll take it. Let's play the fast land, and we'll deploy our Chandler, immediately casting the Bauble, seeing another creature, pretty sure we have to keep that one. Alright opponent, let's see what else you got. They play a Windswept Heath into a Sterling Grove, that's not good. They can find almost anything with that. Whoops, and we forgot to crack the Bauble on their turn. Guess we're getting a little flustered here. Drawing the Chandler that we left on top, let's cast him, then we'll swing in, taking them down to 18. During our end step, they crack their fetch, finding a forest. Then they also crack their grove, grabbing a Cloythis, interesting. The drain effect on that card can be incredibly troublesome. During their upkeep, we draw a Swiftspear, so we aren't punished too hard for missing that activation. They jam an untapped Stomping Ground, no doubt for their Cloythis. Yes indeed. They cast it, then they pass. We draw another Bauble, unfortunately missing a land yet again. Let's start things off by casting the Swiftspear, then we jam the Bauble, binning a Stormwing, and I think the land as well. Attacking with the team, that'll bring them down to 11. As long as they don't have any defensive enchantments, we should be set next turn. During their main phase, the Cloythis drains us for 2, then they play a basic, and wow, they're just passing. We draw an Expressive Iteration. Let's play and crack the fetch, grabbing a mountain, then we'll cast Mutagenic Growth number 1, casting the second one as well. Let's swing in for lethal, and that'll do it. GG's opponent. Okay, looks like we found our opponent here. Best of luck to you, my friend. And this hand seems awesome. We'll keep it. They get things rolling with a Cavern of Souls, naming humans. Gotta say, I'm pretty happy with this matchup. We draw another creature. Let's play our basic mountain, then cast the Soul-Scar Mage, and we'll send it back. Second verse, same as the first, as they play another Cavern, casting a Meddling Mage, and naming Lightning Bolt. No worries there. Up next, we draw another mountain, just in time. Let's play it. We'll cast Swiftspear number 1, then Swiftspear number 2, followed up with a Bauble. That pumps the team. Then we swing in, taking them down to 14, and we're in a phenomenal position. They play a Horizon Canopy, then cast a Mantis Rider. While normally this would be a pretty good play, it just doesn't do enough for them right now. Attacking us for 5, that'll bring us down to 15. During their end step, we'll crack the Bauble, seeing a champion on top. We draw an Unholy Heat into a Mage. Let's swing in, see if they block. Before damage, we'll hit their Meddling Mage with a Lava Dart, then we'll do it again. Finally casting the Lightning Bolt, targeting their rider. Oh, whoops, we totally miscounted there. My bad, opponent, no disrespect intended. And like an absolute champ, they deal the last point of damage with their own canopy. What a legend. So I think in this matchup, we'll cut 2 Expressive Iterations to make room for the 2 Abrades. We could bring in the Shattering Spree or the Threads, but I don't really think we need to. Yeah, that should be fine. We'll submit. Shoutouts to our opponent for being such a good sport. Always appreciate that. This hand is close. We have the Stormwing combo and some removal, but we're missing the second land. Given that we're up a game, I think we should take the risk and keep this. They lead off with a Sunbaked Canyon into an Aether Vial. That's a very strong start. Luckily for us, we draw another land. Let's play it. Then we'll hold up our bolt. And by the looks of it, our opponent has missed their second land drop as they pass straight through. That's brutal. Up next, we draw another land. Let's play it. Then we'll crack it, finding ourselves a basic mountain, casting the Manamorphose, drawing another land. Then we'll jam the Stormwing. Let's go bottom top, and then we'll send it back. During our end step, they cast a Dismember. That's surprising. We'll respond with a Mutagenic Growth. In response, they vial out a Noble. The stack resolves, and the Stormwing survives. On their main phase, they tap the Noble to cast an Esper Sentinel, and it looks like they're passing. We draw the Dart. Let's play an untapped Steam Vents. Then we'll move in for combat, swinging in. Before damage, we'll cast the Lava Dart. In response, they activate their Vial, playing a Sanctifier. That certainly complicates things a bit. They get to draw off their Sentinel. Let's Abrade their Vial control while we still can, and then the Stormwing brings them down to 8. Looks like they found themselves another land, just in time. Wow, when they cast a Sanctum Prelate, I completely forgot about this card. This thing is going to turn off half our deck. As expected, they choose 1 CMC, then they swing in. That takes us down to 12. We draw Manamorphose. Let's play an untapped Steam Vents, then we'll cast it. Don't think we want to pay for the Sentinel. Drawing another Mutagenic Growth. Alright, let's swing in. That takes him down to 3. We have to dodge Reflector Mage, Mantis Rider, and I think Charming Prince. They lead off with an unclaimed territory, and then they cast a Reflector Mage. Yup, can't beat that. As sad as that loss was, I don't think we're really going to benefit from switching up the sideboarding. We just need to play a little bit tighter. Yep, we'll submit. Wow, and this hand is stellar. It's got pretty much everything we'd want. Looks like they went down to 6. Let's play and crack the Scalding Tarn, finding ourselves a basic mountain. Then we'll cast the Swiftspear, swinging in for 1, and we'll send it back. This is one of those games where even Aether Vial isn't going to do much for them. I'm very happy with this hand. They lead off with a basic island, and then speak of the devil, they cast a Vial. We draw an Islet. Let's play an untapped Steam Vents, then we'll cast the Abrade, attacking for 2, and it's going to take an incredible hand for our opponent to slow us down now. Up next, they play an unclaimed territory, and then we see a Thalia. That shouldn't be an issue. Drawing a Stormwing. Let's play the Islet, then we'll hit the Thalia with a Lava Dart, once again attacking for 2, bringing them down to 15, and now the only thing we really need to worry about is them drawing a Prelate. Seems our opponent's mana problems are long behind them as they play a Horizon Canopy, and of course they cast a Sanctum Prelate, choosing 1 CMC, so now we're in a bit of an awkward spot, not quite as bad as last game, but still. However, seeing as we just drew a Manamorphose, I am very happy. Let's jam it. Drawing another Stormwing. Let's cast one of them. Let's go top, then we'll swing in. That brings them down to 12. So now all we gotta do is keep our creatures on board, and we should be good to go. During our opponent's main phase, they cast a Mantis Rider. I'll take that over Reflector Mage any day. They swing in for 3. That'll take us down to 14. We draw our Swiftspear. Let's cast it. Followed up by the Expressive Iteration. Seeing double Bauble and a Mutagenic Growth, we'll ship the Growth and keep the others, casting Bauble number 1, then Bauble number 2, and it looks like they scoop it up. GG's. Alrighty, looks like we found our opponent here. Best of luck to you, my friend, and this hand seems fantastic. Definitely keeping this one. Let's get things started with a Scalding Tarn and see what they're playing. They jam a Triome, that'll come in tapped, so I suppose we're playing against either Jeskai or some kind of 4-color control deck. During their end step, we'll crack our fetch, grabbing a tapped Steam Vents. We draw Stormwing, excellent. Let's play the Fiery Islet, then we'll cast the Manamorphose, drawing another land. Then we'll jam the Stormwing, think we're gonna go bottom top. Up next, they play a Flooded Strand, and they pass immediately, fair enough. Drawing the Chandler, let's play the Spirebluff, then we'll cast it. Moving in for an attack, let's swing in. Before damage, we'll cast a Lava Dart, seeing a Lightning Bolt, definitely keeping that one. That'll take him down to 15. We could have gone full aggro with a Lightning Bolt or the Mutagenic Growth, but I don't think we want to flinch. During our end step, they crack their fetch, grabbing a tapped Steam Vents, so I assume this is only 3-color. Then they play a Glacial Fortress, passing straight through once again. We draw the Lightning Bolt, let's cast it right away, seeing another copy, no reason to bend that. Next up, we'll cast Bolt number 2, which they decide to counter with a Charm. Here's hoping we can dodge a Solitude, as we cast a Lava Dart, then flash it back, swinging in. Before damage, we'll cast the Mutagenic Growth, targeting the Chandler, and they scoop it up, nice. So this might be totally wrong, but I think we're going to cut the 3 copies of Unholy Heat for the Spell Pierces. Until we see a lot of Planeswalkers, I don't actually think this is a bad trade. Either way, we'll submit. Alright, this hand is definitely worth keeping. If we can untap with our Swiftspear, we'll be in a fantastic position. They lead off with a Scalding Tarn and send it right back. We draw Soul-Scar Mage, not bad. Let's play the basic, then we'll cast it. In response, they crack their fetch, grabbing a Triome. The Mage resolves, and then we'll pass. On their main phase, they cast a Prismatic Ending, exiling the Soul-Scar Mage. Then they play a tap Steam Vents. We draw another basic. Let's play the fetch, cracking it immediately, and grabbing a Steam Vents of our own. Then we'll cast a Swiftspear, swinging in for 1. That brings them down to 18, and I think we're good. They're going to need more cheap removal if they want to take out our creature. During their main phase, they cast a Stoneforge Mystic, grabbing a Sword of Fire and Ice. Then they play a fast land. Up next, we draw an Expressive Iteration. Let's play the Mountain. Then we'll cast the Lava Dart, targeting the Stoneforge. We'll do it again, attacking for 3. That'll bring him down to 15. Interesting, on their main phase, they cast a Rest in Peace. This kind of sucks, but I think we have to counter it. Well, I guess that must have been bait, as they cast another Prismatic Ending, followed up by a tapped Hallowed Fountain. If we didn't have the Expressive Iteration, this would feel much worse. Excellent, we draw Chandler, let's cast it, then we'll jam the Expressive Iteration, binning the land, let's keep the Bauble and the Lightning Bolt, casting the former, think we gotta bin the Stormwing, and I guess we'll hold. They play a basic into a 3-mana Teferi, that's annoying but manageable, down-ticking and targeting our Chandler, let's crack the Bauble, they've got a land on top, we draw an Islet into a Soul-Scar Mage, excellent, let's play the land, then we'll cast the Chandler, flashing back a Lava Dart and finishing off the Teferi, binning a mountain, and finally we'll cast the Soul-Scar Mage. They play the fetch and then cast their sword, this means that half of their cards were duds, think we're gonna crack the Islet during their end step, drawing another one, we see a Manamorphose, let's play the land, then we'll cast it, binning the fetch and drawing a Chandler, might as well play it, we'll cast a Sorcery Speed Lightning Bolt, keeping the Expressive Iteration, then we swing in, they cast a path, let's grab a mountain, that takes them down to 9, oddly enough they crack their fetch, grabbing a Steam Vents, seems greedy, yikes, and it looks like they drew another one. Unless they have a Solitude, I think we might have this. We draw Bauble, let's cast it, binning the Stormwing, cracking it immediately, targeting ourselves, we see a Swiftspear, excellent, time to cash in the Islet, drawing our creature, then we'll jam it, let's move in for attacks, swing in with a team, before damage we'll flash back the Lava Dart, binning the Swiftspear, they crack their fetch, grabbing a Hallowed Fountain, the Lava Dart resolves, and I guess that'll do it, GG's. And there you have it. While I might not be an expert when it comes to Izzet Blitz, I can certainly see why people love this deck so much. I think if I were to play this deck again, I might make a few changes. Adding another land seems doable, even if it's just a Horizon land. Too often it felt like we were stuck with 1 mana, and that greatly limited our overall power. This could be a deck building error, but I'm also willing to bet it was a mix of poor decision making on my part and subpar mulligans. Got a bit of a channel update. I've been working on the editing and commentary a good amount over the last few weeks. I feel as if I got into a rut by focusing too much on efficiency at the cost of entertainment value, so I've been trying to cut down on the repetitive speech and keep the enthusiasm high whenever possible. This isn't something that I'm going to master overnight, so I really do appreciate your patience and support. Speaking of which, if you like my content, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. It always makes me happy to hear from you all, and as always, stay safe out there and have a good one.